What's up everyone, Clark Glassford, founder of mypracticeinterview, where we help you land your dream job. And today I want to talk about resumes, how to construct the perfect resume to capture the attention of the recruiter and hiring manager so that you get a call to the interview. Now I want you to think of resumes as we think of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And you're going like, huh? What? How is that related to resumes? Well, bear with me for a second here. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, in order to get to the chocolate factory, you needed to have the golden ticket. That golden ticket got you access to the chocolate factory, got you to meet Willy Wonka, and got you a chance to try the delicious chocolate in the chocolate factory. Your resume is the same thing. A well-constructed resume gives you access to the interview. It captures the attention of the hiring manager and gets you a seat at that interview table. A poorly constructed resume that looks like a dog's breakfast, well, that's going to end up in the shredding bin. So you need to have the right elements in your resume to capture the attention of a hiring manager. And how do I know all this? I've got over 20 years experience as a human resource professional recruiting for organizations both big and small, from entry level to very senior level positions, and I know exactly what it is hiring managers look for. Any hiring manager who is reviewing your resume will give you 6 seconds of their time. That's it. Just think about that. 6 seconds of their time to review your resume that you spent hours poring over and constructing and creating this document. So it needs to have the right elements to make sure that they're looking at your resume and they're going, I want to bring this person in for an interview versus, nope, I'm putting this in the garbage bin. So let's talk about what those 7 key elements are. Starting at the top of your resume, you need to have your contact information. Really plain and simple with that one. Your name and how I can contact you. If you don't have that there, I'm not going to go searching for it. So make sure front and center of your resume is your contact information. The next section needed on your resume is what we call a summary statement or profile statement. A lot of applicants get this really wrong when they're building their resume. They find a resume template that has something called an objective statement, and they write an objective versus a summary. And you're asking, well, what's the difference between the two? An objective statement is why you're applying for the role. Well, I already know why you're applying for the role because you want a job with my organization. I don't need you to reiterate that in that objective statement. What I want to see is a summary as to who you are and what you bring to the role and what value you could possibly bring to my organization. That summary statement is 4 to 5 sentences long. It's a brief paragraph that just summarizes who you are and what you bring to the organization. It's a really effective way in capturing my attention to say, here's who I am, keep reading. The next section you have is your skills section or competency section. And in that section, it's just bullet points as to the skills that you have that you bring to the job you're applying for. So those skills are both technical skills, the technical aspects of the role, and they're the soft skills. So those personality type skills. A lot of applicants just focus on the technical skills. So I'm a programmer, so I'm just going to list my programmer skills, or I'm an accountant, I'm just going to list my accounting skills, and they forget the personal skills. I need to see both as a recruiter. I need to see what you have on the expertise side, those technical skills, plus I want to see what you have from a personality point of view. So things like communication skills, decision-making skills, leadership, teamwork skills, initiative skills, those are some of the other skills on the personality side that I want to see. A lot of people ask me, well, where do I find those and how do I know what the employer is looking for? It's simple. Look at the job posting or job description, and they will be littered with the skills. And those are key words that you want to put on your resume. A lot of employers have what they call applicant tracking systems. And those are electronic systems that capture your resume and they automatically look for keywords on your resume. So by putting some of those keywords that are in the job description, now as long as you have those skills, now don't put them on there if you don't have the skills, but as long as you have those skills, put them on there, and that makes it easy for the applicant tracking system to make a decision to pass your resume on to the hiring manager. Next section, experience. So experience comes next, and this section so often gets done so poorly that your resume gets pushed aside and somebody else is looked at over you. And why does it get done poorly? Well, applicants really focus on just regurgitating the job description for the roles they've occupied in their career. As a recruiter and a hiring manager, I don't want to see a regurgitation of a job description. I want to see a summary as to the role you occupied And then I want to see your key achievements within that role. That's really important to me. So let's think about this. Under your experience, I want to see the title of your job. I want to see the organization you worked for, the dates you worked for that organization, a brief summary. So that brief summary is 3-4 sentences, just summarizing the role you occupied, and then your key achievements. That's what's important to me as a hiring manager. So things like you increased sales, you developed this wonderful product, you increased efficiencies in doing this certain project. Those types of things are key bullets that you want to have underneath your experience. And think of it like this: bullets equal bragging points. One more time, bullets equal bragging points. So any bullet you put there is something that you're very, very happy about and something you want me to pay attention to. That gets me to notice your resume. That gets me to spend more time looking at your resume to make a decision as if you're someone I want to meet. Next section that you have is education. So education is just the various schools you've attended, what you've achieved within those schools, whether certificate or degree or diploma, and the dates you've been at those schools. Now, you can also include some courses if the job posting is asking for certain skills or certain courses that you would have taken. Those are some of the things you're going to put on that section. I get asked a lot of times from applicants, shouldn't education go before experience? And my answer to that is this: if you are fresh out of school and don't have a lot of experience behind you, you can move that education experience up. Okay, so that can go above your experience. However, if you've got 3, 4, 5 years experience and more, you want your experience to be front and center. Remember, it's all about real estate on your resume and making sure that you're using the prime real estate, which is page number 1, to have the most relevant information. So if I'm looking for someone who's already had experience within a certain role that I'm looking to hire for, I'm looking on page number 1 and my eyes are going directly to that experience section before they go to education. So again, only if you're fresh out of school, you put that education above the experience section. Next section I want you to include volunteer work. This gets missed all the time. People volunteer in their personal lives and their professional lives, but they leave that off their resume. And I don't know why they do that, because it speaks to who you are as a person, the type of things that you support, plus it shows so much more experience that you've developed within that volunteer capacity. So just like with your experience, you build that section the same way. Name of organization, role you occupied, dates you were in that volunteer role, a quick summary as to what you were doing there, and then some of the key achievements you obtained within that volunteer experience. It's a really effective way to show that other side of you on your resume, and it speaks to a broader degree of experience. It's very, very effective. Then the last section are accolades or accomplishments. So this is a bit different than what I've told you about putting under your experience section. These are things outside of your work experience. So you may have achieved, a gold medal in a certain sport. You may be an excellent violin player that has played at these opera houses that are fantastic to talk about. So those are some things that you could put on your resume that are under that accolades section that really kind of capture who you are as a person and are just really neat, cool information for me as a hiring manager to see. Some of you may not have those accolades that you can speak to, so that section doesn't need to be presented on your resume. But for those who have some neat things that they can put under that section that really speak to who you are outside of all the work stuff, that's something you want to have on your resume. So that's it, everyone. 7 key sections that you can build on your resume that capture my attention as a recruiter and a hiring manager. Once you've built your template, you can use that over and over again to apply for various jobs. Now, just make sure, as my last tip here, when you build your template, you tailor your template to each job you're applying for. Don't keep using the same generic resume because that gets picked up in a second by a hiring manager and gets quickly discounted. So, speaking of templates, I want you to check out in the links below my Interview Accelerator Workshop. This workshop is a step-by-step online course that walks you through exactly what you need to do to prepare for your interview. At the end of the day, this is all about how to get to the interview and how to impress that hiring manager to say you're hired. As part of the Interview Accelerator Workshop, you get a whole bunch of bonus material. And one of the key things in that bonus material are 5 resume templates. Now, these are resume templates that are proven and effective to get you noticed. They allow you to enter your information into the templates and use them as your own and tailor them to any job you're applying for. It takes the guesswork out of building a resume. It takes the searching that you go through to try and find a template that's going to work for you. Use one of these 5 templates, make it your own, and start applying for jobs. It really simplifies it for you. I highly encourage you to check that out. So that's it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our interview channel here for My Practice Interview. We've got lots of videos, lots of things, and lots of tips for you to start preparing for your job and how to get hired. I hope you've had a good video here. Thank you very much for watching. And like I always say, happy interviewing, everybody.